What is up, guys? It's your girl Alyssa back at you with another video today. So as you can tell, I am currently not at my computer where I have been. I am about on my way to head over to my friend Hunter's house where we are going to read off scary text messages. Now, I know I said I wasn't gonna post till Monday, but I changed that for today because today is, as you guys haven't noticed, is Friday the 13th. So I was like, oh, it's perfect. We have to do it. So let's just get right on over there. So I have made it to Hunter's house, so let's go inside. Hey guys, so this is my friend Hunter. Before we get started on the scary text messages or whatever we found on the internet, I just have a couple questions. Usually I ask anybody that I put in one of my videos if they believe in ghosts, spirits, anything haunted wise, the other side, heaven, hell, devils, all that fun stuff. So with that being said, do you?
It's a loaded question. I'm a bit of a skeptic. I like to believe there's something after we leave the world, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
Hey guys, real quick, I don't mean to cut this off, but if you have not hit that like or subscribe button yet, please do. It takes like a second to do it, especially if you want to see more of my content. Okay, back to the video now.
There were a couple places that were considered haunted where I used to live, a few hours south of here. One of them was called Spook Rock Road. And legend had it that two lovers were walking holding hands down the street and they were killed by an oncoming car. And if you actually parked your car and put it in neutral, your car would be pulled backwards up the hill. And scientists blame it on some magnetic rock. Paranormal investigators blame it on the lovers' spirits possessing the road. So it's kind of a loaded question.
Now, I remember you telling me that the lovers were newlyweds.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, do you think somebody was possibly mad that they got married? Somebody that was probably after the woman that might have known they were going there?
It was an accident.
Accident?
Yeah, it was an accident. She, if I remember correctly, from what I was told years and years later, their hands were sweating and they went to switch sides that they were walking on, and as they did that, they were both killed.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what legend claims.
Yeah, what the legend has. So you also were mentioning to me earlier that there is an insane asylum up there.
Yes, it's called Letchworth Village. They had people that were ranging from being mentally handicapped to physically handicapped to being completely in a vegetative state to being people that were dropped off as children, as orphans that were forced to live in this place and started to adapt to the way the individuals that had to live there did. People that were completely normal, that followed behavior of people around them. There was a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect. My mother and my grandmother actually both worked there when the place was actually in business still, but now it's completely abandoned. And they actually built a school where one of the buildings stood. Well, it was like their rec center for the village. There used to be an old swimming pool underneath it, and they filled that in, and they actually kept the buildings were all cobblestone, and they kept the cobblestone face on the school. The school was called Fieldstone Junior High. I went there, but many buildings still stand, and there were underground tunnels linking each building to each other, so the individuals didn't have to be taken out in the public or bad weather or what have you.
Now, if you guys want to see me go to that location, get a couple friends, maybe him, because since he knows the place, I'll go and explore the place. But you guys have to let me know if you'd like to see that, because I'm not going to risk much if you guys aren't interested. Now, we do have stories pulled up here. They're like just if you have heard of chainmail, that's mainly what we're reading off of, and apparently some true stories that link with each other. But let me get it pulled up here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we do have the first one up. It is called Please Hug Me. Now, he's going to read this one only because it's got a lot of abbreviations, and I'm not good at abbreviations. So, why don't you go ahead and read that for us.
Alright. A guy stopped at a farmhouse for the night. The farmer said, "I'll let you sleep in my daughter's room if you promise not to touch her." The guy agreed and went into a dark room and laid down. The daughter said, "Please hug me." The guy said, "I can't, I promised your dad." Daughter said, "Please, I'm so cold." The guy said, "Okay then." Next morning, he said to the farmer, "Your daughter was very cold last night." And the farmer then said in reply, "I know, she's been dead for 2 days."
Now, I don't know about you guys, but if a little girl came to me saying that they were cold, please hug me, I'd probably hug her. Like, in all honesty, I'd probably hug her. Now, if somebody came to me the next day and said, "Oh yeah, that was my daughter, she's been dead for 2 days," I'd be like, "Oh, cool."
You're very trusting.
Yeah.
I'm not.
In a okay, in a way, if a little girl came up to me, she had nothing. She was shivering cold, especially with it being cold outside. I would probably give her a coat, or not specifically hug her, because you don't know what the girl's intentions are, but I'd probably find something to give to her to keep her warm. But now, if I woke up the next morning and had somebody tell me, "Oh, that was so-and-so's daughter, that was somebody that died 2 days ago."
So you would still hug this little girl even after creepy Farmer Joe told you not to?
Well, if creepy Farmer Joe told me not to, I'd probably ask in reply, why? To hope to get an answer. Why not hug this little girl? Like, what's up with this little girl that I should be so eerie about? Now, if he didn't tell me, then I wouldn't have any idea, but I'd also be skeptical and be like, "Here's a blanket."
Yeah, I don't think I would have been staying there if I was specifically told by creepy Farmer Joe here not to touch his daughter, but yet sleep in her room with her. Yeah, there's a lot of...
Yeah, now that you mentioned
it's sounding very Deliverance.
Why would a farmer send this guy into his daughter's room to stay and then be like the next day, "Oh yeah, my daughter's been dead for 2 days."
But what I want to know, was it her corpse he was lying next to, or was it her spirit that popped into the room?
That's a good one.
Because she was cold.
She was cold, and usually corpses are cold when they pass.
Right.
Like their whole body just goes.
Did he just like leave her corpse there because he's creepy Farmer Joe and wants to have?
I wonder how she died 2 days ago.
Right.
And if her corpse is still there, I wonder if creepy Farmer Joe had anything to do with that.
I would probably assume so. He, yeah.
That's...
I think he's been sniffing cow shit too long.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let me just get it pulled up here. Or him. So it's called The Cause of Death. It says, "My name is Ophelia Harris. I'm 16 years old. I'm a murderer. I have no face. When you look at me, you'll die immediately. You have 900 seconds to send this text to all your friends, and I will visit you tonight and kill you in your sleep with no natural cause of death. On December 24th of 2006, at 8 o'clock in the morning, a 14-year-old boy by the name of Scott Jackson was found dead. Doctors couldn't come up with the cause of death. His mother checked his text messages on his phone to see if she could figure out what happened. Turned out he got this text message and didn't send it to his friends. When I was little, I used to send chainmail to everybody.
Oh, you were one of those people.
Everybody. When I was little, I was afraid. I was scared that maybe I was sent this for a reason, or, you know, if I didn't send it, that something bad would happen to my mom. Like, I love my mom dearly. I love my family like none other. So, like, I would send it because I'd feel guilty if something actually happened, and I didn't. But I've grown out of that. I don't do that anymore because I'm like, you know, it's all fake. And please, correct me if I'm wrong if it's not fake, but it's fake.
So you were a chainmail junkie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because, I don't know, like, when you're little, you're skeptical about literally everything, and you're scared. So, you have fears.
I wasn't so much a gullible child. I was a very skeptical person. I never believed anything as a child. I was very curious.
So, when I lived in Virginia, what made me believe more so in spirits and everything was the house I lived in. When you feel like eyes are always watching, like you're always being watched,
that funny.
I always got that feeling
spine.
in my house, and I couldn't make this crap up even if I wanted to. We had a bedroom downstairs. My parents' room was here, our room was here, bathroom here.
Yeah.
There was a little hallway. When I was in my bedroom, I would feel like I always would look at the window. Like I felt like my eyes would just always go to the window. There would be other times, like there was one time me and my mom were in the living room, which is right in front of that hallway, watching TV. We had a surround system hooked up to the TV, and we were just minding our own business. The remote was halfway across the room. The surround system goes from a gentle medium to all the way turned up, just started blaring out of nowhere. It was like somebody went and turned it all the way up. Or
you had a homeless peeping Tom with a universal remote.
I really hope that's not the case. Okay. Thanks for putting that in my head.
Just saying. Eyes going to the window, stereo getting turned up. It's got creepy homeless dude written all over it.
The house was old too, so it had creaks and everything, and I was always afraid to be upstairs by myself because our
Kinda
room.
Like this old place.
Yeah,
very creepy.
So I get the same vibe here as I did there.
My house was built in 1848. 2 people died here. One last year.
If you guys are down, maybe I could talk him into doing some like Ouija board stuff, or you know, when I get my equipment, try to contact somebody that might be in this house. Because I know you knew the owners, correct?
The first owner, I apologize. The second owner, the first owner purchased the house in the 1800s. He was actually he was a doctor of some type, and he was writing a book on the nervous system, and actually found some of his papers and his journals that were dated back to mid 1800s.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you still have them?
Yep, they're actually in the basement in boxes, and I found like old poetry and old banknotes from the 1800s. And this guy passed away, if I remember correctly. One of the documents said in 1906. I think is.
Oh wow.
His last name was Munson. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head without looking at the journals. But he was some type of doctor and professor.
So, like I said, I could come back to this creepy, humble abode, and we could go through those boxes and gather a whole bunch of information, show you guys what there is left here from when he used to stay here, and we could also try to contact him if you guys are up for that. I don't know, are you up for that?
Yeah, why not?
I'd be up for it. I have sage, so that's at least one thing we could do. Sage before and after.
My soul's black as coal anyway, so nothing wants to possess this.
After we did the Ouija board that night at the trailer, it kind of opened my eyes a little because I didn't know where you were from. I mean, I did, but I didn't remember.
Right.
My best friend had no idea who you were, never met you before, didn't know your back history. You were drunk.
Yeah.
You were barely touching the eye.
I was barely touching consciousness.
Yeah. So you were like, so I was barely touching it. She was barely touching it. You were barely touching it. And it was spelling out your hometown.
Yeah.
Apparently her name was Edna. I haven't heard from Edna in a long, long time. Because after that day we did that, I was in my car and I kept hearing rustling in my backseat. I don't know if I told you that. It sounded like when you take a grocery bag and you just move it and just keep moving it. And I did have bags back there.
Or you had like a little family of mice or squirrels living in there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But it was also creepy because I was driving at like 4 a.m. and it was dark with only me in the car, and that was just, it was creepy. I didn't like it. So.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't remember much about it, but it was very interesting.
Yeah. It was I could really say one hell of an experience
Mhm.
because I was chicken. At first I didn't want to, but then my mom was on FaceTime with me watching me.
I remember that.
And she
That
was
I
like,
remember.
I was like, Mom, should I try to, should I join in? Should I, like, yes, no, maybe so? And she's like, I mean, you're gonna be paranoid after, but if you want to. I was like, okay. So
she was paranoid after.
Yeah, I was.
Very.
I get paranoid very easily because if I'm afraid that something will attach itself to me, I don't want something evil attached to me now. If it's my best friend who passed away a couple months ago, or if it was somebody good that I contacted out of despite, then I would be okay with it because not every spirit's going to try to harm you. And there's not much they can do to you.
I still think we need to do the Ouija board on Judy Cole Road at midnight and do a overnight.
We could do that.
Judy Cole Bridge here in town. Legend has it that a lady, her name was Judy Cole, her husband left her, and she killed her child, threw him over the bridge, and then hung herself from the bridge. And it claims she still haunts it, and they named the entire road after her.
Yeah. Now, people say, I've stayed the night on Judy Cole Road before. It was with a whole bunch of group of people. They were having like this little party thing going on. And we stayed on that road right next to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened. I was eerie, but there's the one person that likes to say he believes in ghosts and sees ghosts. You know who he is. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
And he kept saying, oh, I see something, I see this, I see that. And I'm like, do you?
Yes, no,
I was like, because I don't see anything. Yeah. Now, also, the legend has it that if you are there, was at the time of her death or like in the middle of the night, 3:00 a.m.
Yeah,
however,
it was a specific time.
I can't remember the time exactly. But you would see her walking, walking the road.
I can say I've hunted there and going in the dark in the morning. It's very solemnly eerie and quiet.
That road in general is eerie for me.
It has that like cemetery at night feeling, like that dead silence.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, there's a bridge above water, but when you're there, you barely hear the water.
Yeah.
Even if it's fast moving.
Yeah, it's strange.
It is.
Especially in the dark. You feel like you're not quite alone.
No. And I would never go on that road alone.
I've
ever
done it multiple times in the
See,
dark.
you're a guy. Guys, they can. They're really...
Things don't bug me, I guess.
Yeah. See, I would go to all these places by myself, but say if something were to happen to me, nobody would know. I'd be gone, and then people were like, "Oh, hey, have you seen Alyssa?"
I'd be pretty content with an ending like that, like
taken out by Judy Cole.
Yeah, like that'd be kind of cool. Like I just disappear. It'd be interesting to know how long it would take for someone to notice I was missing.
Right. I never want that to happen, though. I don't want people to be like, "Oh my gosh, where'd she go? It was like 2 days ago. Sent out a search party, and then lo and behold, I was thrown off a bridge by a non-present thing."
The question of never being found. Did he just up and take off and like live some alternate life, or is he like dead somewhere?
Yeah, right.
Like,
did a bear take him out while he was hunting?
Right,
things you think about. But yeah, if you guys want to see us do like an overnight stay at some point on Judy Cole Road, we can definitely do that. I do have to get an EMF reader because out in the woods there's no electric magnetic waves. The only thing that would really probably produce that is a camera or a phone. But if you put it up to a phone or a camera, it doesn't glow as it does when a spirit's presence. So
I've never experienced
with
this.
That being said, if I find a good enough EMF reader and I can get a couple dowsing rods, we can go ahead and do an overnight stay at Judy Cole Road if you guys would like to see that. So if you would, leave a comment down below. Let us know. I'd be down for it.
I'm just a tag-along skeptic.
Trying to make him believe just a little bit more.
I'm the myth debunker.
Yep. All right, so on to our third one, since we got sidetracked by stories from our area. Okay, I didn't like that at all.
Hold on here.
It's very windy outside, so if you guys hear creaks...
Oh, yeah, my house creaks like crazy.
It's awful. Like, I'm hearing creaks like if somebody were to be just stepping on a plank. It's just the wall because of outside, but it's still...
Yeah, it's pretty weird. This one is called The Devil and Kayla. Would you like to read it? You want me to?
Yeah, you can go ahead and read it.
Hello, my name is Kayla, and I was killed by the devil. I disappeared and was never found ever again. I was possessed by an evil entity, and it made me worship Satan. If you read this, it will summon the devil. He will come to your house, smash your window in, light your house on fire, and then he will put you out and slit your throat and cut off your legs and arms. He will also sew your mouth and eyes shut. Then he will cut your head off, burn your body, take your head, and stick it on a pole in your front yard of your house. If you send this to 42 people, the devil will just light your house on fire and leave you alone. Pretty corny chain letter.
So...
that's about as chain lettery as they get.
Yeah. On the devil portion, I don't really think he's gonna come to your house and burn it down. I mean, if the devil really wants you as bad as if he does, I think he'll just like make it so somehow your life will end and you'll go to hell with him, and
right.
There you are.
Then you're in his own little playhouse.
Yeah, and then he can torture you however he wants. I don't think he's gonna come straight to your house, burn your house, and then cut all your limbs off, and then sew your mouth and eyes shut, then decapitate you, burn your body, and keep your head and put it in the yard.
It seemed very in-depth. It sounds like whoever wrote that needs a lot of counseling.
Yeah, or they just have too much time on their
hands. Or like really twisted fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be a chain letter you were afraid of as a child, something like that.
Yep, something like that. I'm like, oh my god, the devil, and now I'm just like... That ain't shit.
F-bomb it.
Yeah.
Don't want it to get censored also.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want this censored. But I do have a potty mouth when I'm not on YouTube. But besides the point, yeah. So the devil. I have never encountered anything evil like that. Like, I know people are like, oh, if you're using a Ouija board to start spelling out Zozo, then you need to immediately say goodbye and leave, or you know, something like that. Or like
Zozo.
Yeah, it's
enlighten me.
Okay, so the devil's name through in a Ouija board, I believe, is Zozo. If this Zozo spirit,
is there a story behind this, or why, or how, anything like that?
There might be. I don't really know it off the top of my head, but if I get time, I'll do it after this. But yeah, if Zozo tries to like tell you, you're like, what is your name? So what they will do is they'll try to make you believe that there isn't a God or there is a God. I can't remember either one, but they'll fake and play you and pretend there's somebody that they're not. They'll trick you.
Okay.
They're very, very good at it.
Okay.
That's why that night we played with the Ouija board. My friend Sarah thought, oh, it's spelling Zozo, and that's why she wanted to say goodbye. It wasn't. It was spelling out Stony Point because she thought she saw it go back and forth.
Yeah.
If it says Zozo, Zozo, and just keeps going, like, you gotta go goodbye and do whatever you gotta do to cleanse yourself and just make sure, because evil spirits like that will try to attach themselves to you, because those evil things are like, oh, I have a person now. I have a host.
I never seen him referred to as Zozo. It's either like the devil, Satan, or Lucifer. Yeah.
So that's just another name. I guess. Because think about it. If the devil wants you to know that it's there, it's talking to you, I don't think it's going to take the time to spell out Satan or Lucifer, because that's going to take forever.
Well, you would think it would just go 666.
Yeah, there would be other ways around it,
the
for
number
sure.
of the beast.
But I guess it's just easier to go Z-O, Z-O, just keep going across the board.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that's...
Or spell like
that.
hell.
Yeah.
Like that.
They'll probably like try to make you believe that you don't go to heaven, you go to hell, or that heaven isn't real, God isn't real, that kind of thing. I believe that's what it does. If I'm wrong, correct me, please. I won't hate you for it. But yeah, the devil, somebody you don't want to screw with, per se.
I'm still the skeptic over here.
I mean, I'm a skeptic too.
I'm a firm believer in personal choices and personal control, and you're in control of your own destiny, kind of deal. Your decisions and choices and your beliefs. Though some people are very impressionable, I don't know, it can go both ways.
See, for me, once I started believing a little bit more, I'm not a full-on religious person. I don't go by any religion. I don't. I carry a cross in my car, and I about call it good.
Like, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I consider myself a Christian. But I still question everything.
Yeah. See, like, I question a lot because I've been told, now, I don't know why or where I heard this, because I don't want to mention the wrong thing where I've heard it and then have them be mad at me if they see this. But I'm just going to say that I was told that this world, was created on a shell of a turtle.
I believe that's a Hawaiian legend of some style.
I don't know, man, but
it sounds familiar. It sounds like tribal, like Hawaiian stuff. If I remember correctly, I was a big history nerd, so I'm trying to remember. That does sound very familiar. I'll have to look that up.
See, something like that, I don't believe. I don't believe.
Ancient Greek mythology, I may be wrong with the name. I believe his name was Atlas. They believe this man held the world on his shoulders. You'll see Greek statues of a globe on a guy's shoulders with him hunched over. And I believe his name was Atlas. I could be mistaken, though. But there's different beliefs on what holds the world up and how it began. There's people that believe there was an explosion out of nothing, which makes very little sense to me.
Right.
Maybe I'm just not scientific enough to understand where they're coming from, but I don't know how you get explosive material out of empty space and nothingness.
Right.
But
I don't know.
What do I know? I just stick metal together for a living.
And I sit here try to find a job. But along with that being said, like the whole ordeal with what was it? I forgot her name, who took a bite of an apple off a tree that she wasn't supposed to.
You don't remember her name.
Isn't it Eve?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so, but I didn't want to say the wrong name and then get judged for it.
Who was her lover and the only other human being on Earth. There's a lingerie company named after them.
There's a lingerie company named after them?
Adam and Eve.
No shit.
Yes.
Huh. Well, yeah, I knew Adam, but I was like, wait, there's a lingerie company named after
Adam
him?
and Eve. I like how I know that.
Yeah. You can tell, like, you know a little bit more than I do. I
don't know much.
No, but
I'm a fountain of useless knowledge. Basically.
See, I used to go to church, but it was all boring. Like, I was a kid. I was just like, okay, I'm going here because I love spending time with my grandmother. So I went, but it was just kind of like stuff like, how am I drinking, like, when my old job, they had a little chapel there, and they'd have Sunday meetings for church.
Yeah.
Right? So you'd get this, like, little cracker, and you drink this, like, it's
the body of
grape
Christ.
juice or whatever. Yeah, I'm like,
the blood of Christ.
I'm drinking grape juice, and I'm eating a cracker. How does that...
It's symbolism.
Yeah.
It's not to be taken literally. It's because at the Last Supper, bread and wine were served, and that was considered blood of Christ and the body of Christ. It's symbolizing his sacrifice when he was crucified.
Yeah.
When you're accepting communion, you are basically stating that you are accepting Christ into your life and you are acknowledging his sacrifice. and his crucifixion, which Easter.
Yeah.
Do you know what Easter Day is? It's one of the most holy holidays in the Christian faith, even more so than Christmas.
Isn't that when he rises?
Yep, that's when he rose. And you know what Good Friday is?
When he was sacrificed?
It's when he was crucified.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, he rose again.
See, I was like, oh, Easter, he rises, and then you said Good Friday. Everybody thought, I just put two and two together. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, hey.
Usually, a lot of people, I get a lot of blank stares when I ask people that. Like,
You just got to think about it. Honestly, Good Friday, it sounds like, oh, it's going to be a good day because he sacrificed for us to be here.
yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I thought of it
Yeah.
that way. Please stop.
Yeah, Easter is probably one of the most holiest days in the Christian faith.
You know what's cool?
I believe.
My birthday every either 5 or 10 years depends on Easter.
Mine too.
Hmm.
What day is your birthday? Because it's not far from mine.
April 5th.
April 5th. I am the 28th of March. I'm going to be 22 this month.
I'll be 20 next.
I'm getting old. After 21, it's all downhill, so you know what you have to look forward to.
Yeah, but at least I'll be able to do the things I like to do again and relive my 18th birthday.
Oh, before you know it, you'll have children and houses and all that fun stuff.
I want to wait on that.
Just look at me and my lovely mess of a life.
I see it as mainly everything happens for a reason. That's what I was trying to get to, is everything I think happens for a reason. Whether you plan for it or whether you don't, it happens to happen because there's a reason behind it.
There better be a lot of reasons for what kind of year I had.
Me too. Me too. But I see it as I've gone through a lot of jobs since I've graduated. That's because I haven't found what I've wanted to do.
What you like,
right?
yes.
My last job, I loved that job.
Mm-hmm.
Down to the core. They didn't think I liked it, so they got rid of me. So I see it as there is a reason why that happened. There's a reason why I started YouTube.
Maybe you're meant to be a professional YouTuber. Who knows?
That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. So ever since I lost that job, I was down in the dirt, kind of just like, oh my God, my life, what is going on? Like, why is this happening?
She was very down in the dumps.
I was not myself for a while.
The day she lost her job, I get a frantic text of, I need a job. Find me one. Bye.
So I used to work where he worked. I
Yes.
absolutely hated it.
Yes.
Was, I could do the work, ask him. I did everything possible.
Mind you, we had different jobs there.
Yeah.
I am a maintenance mechanic. I fix everything that people like her break.
I broke nothing though.
Right. She was a good operator. A lot of people aren't. Common sense is a severe lack in that place. And
when you walk into there, you would know as soon as you look at somebody, you're like, oh damn, your brain's not where it's supposed to be.
It kills your soul.
Yeah. Like for me, the only good thing about it was I had experience in a plant, and I also gained a little bit more muscle from it because you did a lot of heavy lifting, you did a lot of walking around and standing in one spot and concrete floor. It was bad, but a good experience.
My job's very physical there. I was wheelchair bound for quite a few weeks. I was paralyzed from the waist down, so I just finally got back to work. I still walk with a bit of a limp, but it is extremely strenuous, especially with one bad leg, to do my responsibilities. And kind of circling back to the whole ghost thing, I tease one of my friends I work with that we have a ghost in the upper Catha bar of where I work. My buddy is very superstitious to an extent. And when he first started, he went up there and he's like, dude, you ever feel like something's watching you up there? And you do. It's very creepy. It is. Like, you feel like somebody's behind you all the time.
That's how I feel at my house.
So, it never fazed me because that stuff doesn't bug me, I guess. But you could feel it. So, from then on in, when I knew it bothered him, I teased him constantly about it. So I named the ghost Willis. So now whenever we do the rounds, every day, and we go up there, I say, hey Josh, Willis says hello. And he generally calls me things I can't say on YouTube. And that's how we go about our day.
So, I do have a story about that place. So, it's been said that, there's a little girl that haunts the place. Why a little girl? I don't know. But apparently people have seen her. And then there's also this man that wears an old, very, very old uniform that they don't even carry anymore or sell or give out.
Mind you, multiple people have died in that plant.
Yeah. That also haunts. He's like a tall, slim figure that wears a uniform. I've been told that. And I think there was like one other person. But when I was working a line one day, I was sleep deprived because you got to get up super early and be there by a certain time, and you get breaks, but they just don't feel long enough to even regain.
They're not. You get burnout because it's so monotonous.
Very fast. And if you want overtime, you have to come in at 3 in the morning. For me, anyways, I had to come in at 3 in the morning and work till 3 in the afternoon. It was awful.
I work 8-10 hour midnights in a row, so.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
But I was sleep deprived, and on a line one day, I was standing there waiting for the cups to move, and I was just kind of slowly drifting off into sleep. But I thought I was hallucinating. I saw a quick flash like that of a little girl in like this poofy dress. I would not be able to describe how she looked because I didn't get that good of a glimpse. But she was just standing there, and then I kind of like woke up like that, and I was just kind of like, what in the world? And there was nothing there. Like, nobody talking to me, nothing like that. So I go outside for my break, and there's this old guy there that was talking about stories of all the people that haunt the place. Like, the laboratory apparently is haunted. Things will open and get thrown on the floor randomly. Nobody does it. That kind of thing.
I think a lot of it is it's an old plant and there's drafts and things.
But he also mentioned when he was talking about that there's a little girl that haunts the place. And not only has he seen it, but multiple others have seen it.
I've heard the same story.
And I was like, hold up, wait. Back that up for a second.
Was that the gray-haired guy? What was his name?
I don't know.
Oh my God! He was the guy that
something.
argued with Pokemon in his glove box and on his way into work.
Yep.
You can't make this stuff up, people.
No.
He was an interesting soul.
Yeah.
Why can I not remember his name? I think he retired.
Did he finally retire?
I think he did. Awesome guy. Nuttier than a squirrel turd.
He was really good to talk to.
Awesome
even though
guy.
he was out of his mind and gorge at the time.
The
he was awesome.
The 70s were very rough to him.
Yeah.
Very nice guy,
rough,
though.
which we won't get into detail about, but they were rough to him. But he's a very, very good guy.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the little girl, and I told him, wait, back up a second. I was like, wait, a little girl? He's like, yeah, why? I was like, I promise I'm not doing this to get attention or anything. I was like, but not too long ago when I was working, I started dozing off and I saw this little girl figure. She was like in a poopy dress. He's like, oh my God, so you've seen her too? I was like, all right, wait, what? I was like, please, I just wanted to be told that I was sleep deprived and not actually seeing things.
Yeah. I've heard that multiple times though. Man, I really wish I could remember his name. He was awesome.
He was a good guy. I mean, that job had downfalls, but also
there were a lot of good people, you know.
You just gotta find them.
Yeah.
You literally just gotta find them. And then there's others that you don't want to mess with. But
it's you put that many people in a close space, though, you're gonna get all types.
Yeah. I've encountered that many times.
I deal with people on a constant basis because that's kind of my job description. And you talk to some interesting people.
Yeah.
Of all different backgrounds, intellect. It's amazing when you deal with people in general on a constant basis.
That's kind of like with my last job here. You worked with so many different elders, because I worked at an assisted living facility. You worked with so many different elders. You didn't know their backstory. There was one that claimed that she knew Elvis, like she was really good friends with Elvis. And I was going to ask her, hey, did Elvis really die on the toilet? Like, I wasn't really going to ask her that because that's not my business. If you claim to know him...
He did.
Then...
By the way.
you know him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also people that were like in wars and, you know, that just have experienced so much that it's so cool to learn about. Just like when I read off the most haunted places, like how we're reading off stories, which we'll get back to in a second, and we'll do like 2 more. You don't know anything about it till you read about it, and then the history behind everything is like fascinating to me, because you would never expect something like that to come with a person or a place or a thing. It kind of amazes me in a way. It's fascinating. All right, but we can go ahead and read the last 2 stories, and
Sounds good.
we'll get back to our day, because I gotta edit this video for the next 5 hours or more.
Sounds very exciting. I think you just need to learn to do things faster.
I have ADD. My brain's everywhere.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday's video, I talked about having ADD, and I was like, you know, my brain is like a hamster on a hamster wheel, and it goes until you jump off.
Stacy. Shall you do the honors, or shall I?
Yeah, I'll read it. Hello, my name is Stacy. I am 15 years old, and I got beat up by my parents every night. I have bloodshot eyes and moldy hair. Well, that's different. My lips are cut and my nose is broken. This is my story. Every day my parents just beat me up. Once my mother got mad at me and she taped my mouth shut and locked me in a tiny room with no food and water for 2 days. When she let me out, she strangled me and killed me. The cops came and took her to a mental hospital. If you don't post this to at least 5 other groups, I will murder you one day this week. I'll creep in your room and stand there for 2 hours, then stomp all over your face. You will look right into my soulless eyes and I will murder you dead. Oh.
Sounds like a very nice person. Old moldy hair, bloodshot eyes.
Let's see.
Kind of like you before you get your coffee in the morning.
Yeah, pretty much, until I have my caffeine. No, about that, that would be one hell of a bad spirit. Because somebody that's treated, yeah, like, you don't want to mess with a pissed off spirit, because, like she said, she'll stomp your face.
Mm-hmm.
The next is Catalata Kulu. Did I say that right?
Would you prefer I read this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Catalata Kulu. In 1945, a young girl named Catalata Kulu came over from Africa to America in a gray boat. On the way, a mysterious man killed her and cut the word Lada Ula Uka into her back. Now that you've read this message, she will come to your house on a full moon and steal your soul.
I have no soul, so you can't. Haha.
Ginger. Typical. I was going to say that, but then I forgot I was sitting next to a ginger. So I let her take that one.
Okay, you know what? We'll do one more. Or how many is there left? 3?
Tina, Kevin, and Gina.
Okay, we can do... Never mind, we'll do the last 3. Cut this off.
Okay.
Tina. There was once a girl named Tina. She went to the woods to find her dog. There was a man in a black suit in the woods, and he murdered her and let the dog eat the remains. If you don't send this to 24 people in the next 900 seconds, she will stab you, break all your bones, slit your face, and you will die in your sleep. The moment you see her face, you die. She doesn't have a face.
That seems very contradictory.
Yeah.
She's gonna stab you and break all your bones and slit your face, but then you're gonna die in your sleep. So I guess after this, you're gonna take a nap. Not gonna seek any
Apparently, you're gonna be
attention.
so tired that you're just gonna go
to sleep
in a comfy
and
bed
die.
and yeah.
And why is everything broken down to seconds? 900 seconds is a lot of math for a guy that's not very good at it.
Yeah, I'm not good at seconds in that
Like,
amount of range. Like, you could say, like, in the next 40 seconds.
Right.
Like,
once you get over, like, 60, go to minutes. For the love of God.
Exactly. The next one is named Kevin. Hello, my name is Kevin. I died in your backyard last night. Well, that's news to me. I'm in the room next to yours watching you read this. If you try to run up the stairs to Mommy and Daddy, I'll grab your feet and pull you back down the stairs into the other room and I will eat you alive. Remember, I'm watching you. Now I'm standing behind you.
Little Cannibal Kevy.
Oh, yeah.
Gina. Wow, she sounds crazy already. There was a... Reminds me of an ex-girlfriend. There was this girl named Gina who was very unhappy, so she ran away with her boyfriend. Tramp. She was on the computer and saw a message that said, "I know you, but you don't know me. I will find you. You are in the woods. Gina died. Forward this to 11 people. If you don't, you will suffer the same fate." So Gina was very promiscuous.
Okay, so long story short, don't run away with your boyfriend in the woods or someone will find you, and if you don't forward that to 11 people, you'll die the same way she did.
Right.
Yep. So that's like a...
So don't go to sleep after your face has been torn apart and you've been stabbed. Stay away from Cannibal Kevy, your stuff's gonna get weird. And Gina, don't
run away
don't
with your boyfriend.
Be a trollop.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick YouTube appropriate words.
Don't be a trollop.
Right.
Well, that was today's video of scary text messages. Now, it didn't turn into scary text messages in a way. It was more so like scary chainmail.
Yeah. Very chainmail-y.
Everything was coming up in videos, and we couldn't really get text messages unless we downloaded apps like Hooked or, any of that stuff. So I didn't really want to take the time to do that today. But I'd like to thank you, Hunter, for joining me.
Absolutely.
It was fun.
You'll have to come demonize my house a little bit.
Unless it already is there, bud.
Yeah.
But, like I said, if you guys want to see us go to that insane asylum together and, explore it, or if you want to see us go to Judy Cole Road and do an overnight stay and try to capture anything with Judy Cole, let us know in the comments below. Also, this house, if you guys want to see me do anything in this house, let me know. I definitely get the tools to do it.
See if we can get some creepy stuff.
Yeah, I'm down. I need proof. That's what my whole channel is going.
Kind of creepy in my house.
I'm already trying to make myself not so skeptic because I believe to an extent. Now I just need proof.
I have challenged her to break my skepticism, if that's even a word.
And that's going to be a goal, also to get proof so everybody else can believe too. Because I know we're not the only skeptics in this world, and I know a lot of people will fake stuff, and I really don't want to fake anything. I want everything to be real, like uncut, That's why I don't really cut anything in these videos, unless I have to stop to pull something up and then...
Or if you have a complete brain fart.
Yeah, I have those a lot.
Yeah. The ADD.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for joining me today, and thank you, Hunter, once again. I will be posting my next video on Monday. I'm gonna at least try to. But I hope you guys have a great day. Always be blessed, and don't forget, always stay humble. Bye.